The distress beacon had been broadcasting for 3 solar cycles when it finally reached Earth's outer colonies. The message was simple, desperate, and transmitted in 17 different galactic languages. Help us. The Devourers have come. We are dying. Admiral Kinza Rahman stood before the holographic display in the war room, her dark eyes scanning the tactical readout of the Kepler 442 system. The peaceful agrarian world of Verdania had been humanity's first successful diplomatic contact, a gentle species of plant-like beings who had welcomed Earth's ambassadors with open arms and shared their knowledge of sustainable farming across hostile alien environments. Now they were being systematically exterminated. The Devourer fleet arrived 6 days ago, reported Lieutenant Chen, his voice tight with barely contained anger. 17 bioships, each one the size of a city. They're not just conquering Verdania, they're consuming it. The entire biosphere is being stripped away. Adam Torres emerged from the adjacent briefing room, his heavy combat armor making soft hydraulic hisses as he moved. The scarred veteran carried his helmet under one arm, revealing a face that looked like it had been carved from granite and tempered in warfare. Behind him followed Delta Squad, 12 of humanity's most dangerous soldiers, each one a walking nightmare wrapped in adaptive camouflage and bristling with weapons that most civilized species had banned centuries ago. So, Adam's voice was rough like grinding stone. The galaxy's crying for heroes again. Kinza turned to face him, and for a moment, the war room fell silent. These two represented the dual nature of humanity's expansion into the stars. Kinza, the brilliant strategist and diplomat who had negotiated peaceful first contacts with dozens of species, and Adam, the monster they unleashed when diplomacy failed. The Galactic Council sent their peacekeeping force first, Kinza said, pulling up the combat footage. 12 ships with full defensive capabilities and non-lethal suppression technology. The Devourers ate them alive in 47 minutes. On the holographic display, elegant alien vessels fired streams of stunning energy and projected containment fields. The Devourer bioships simply absorbed the attacks, growing larger and more aggressive with each passing moment. The Council ships, designed for minimal casualties and maximum restraint, were systematically torn apart by creatures that knew only hunger. Then the Altair Defense Force tried, Kinza continued. Elite warriors from 3 different species, coordinated assault, precision strikes aimed at what they calculated were weak points. Another recording showed sleek fighters dancing through space, firing surgical strikes at the alien monstrosities. They lasted an hour and 12 minutes. Adam watched the footage with professional interest. They fought clean. They fought civilized, Kinza corrected, according to the accepted rules of engagement. Minimal collateral damage, protection of non-combatants, proportional response. She paused. The Devourers don't know those rules. Good thing we forgot them a long time ago, Adam muttered. The transport ship Nemesis dropped out of FTL at the edge of the Kepler 442 system 18 hours later. She was not an elegant vessel. Where other species built their ships like works of art, the Nemesis looked like what she was. A weapon. Her hull was scarred from 100 battles, her armor plating welded and re-welded so many times that she resembled a patchwork of metal and fury. From the bridge, Kinza watched the tactical display update in real time. Verdania was dying. The once green world now showed vast brown scars where the Devourers had stripped away entire continents of vegetation. The planet's desperate defenders, what remained of their organic defense force, were making final stands around their last population centers. 17 bioships, Adam observed, studying the enemy formation. Biggest one's about 8 clicks long. They're feeding off the planet, growing stronger every minute. The Verdanians are expecting saviors, Kinza said quietly. Heroes who will swoop in and rescue them with minimal casualties and surgical precision. Adam's laugh was not a pleasant sound. Then they're going to be disappointed. The Nemesis moved through the outer system like a predator stalking prey. Her approach was nothing like the elegant formations the previous rescue fleets had used. Instead, she came in dark and silent, using the system's asteroid belt as cover, deploying a cloud of sensor ghosts and decoy signals that made her seem like debris rather than a warship. Target acquired, reported Sergeant Martinez from the weapons console. Lead bioship is in optimal range for Package Alpha. Package Alpha was humanity's gift to the galaxy, a fusion warhead wrapped in a casing of weaponized nanotechnology, designed not just to destroy but to consume. Where other species built weapons to disable or deter, humans built weapons to ensure their enemies never threatened anyone again. "Fire!" Kinza ordered. The warhead struck the largest devourer bioship amidships. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the creature's flesh began to dissolve, to unravel at the molecular level as the nanites spread through its body like an infection. The bioship convulsed, its anguished screams echoing across radio frequencies as it tried desperately to regenerate, to adapt, to survive. It failed. "Remaining targets are converging on our position," Adam reported with satisfaction. "They're angry." "Then let's give them something to be angry about," Kinza replied. "Launch all fighters." What emerged from the Nemesis hangar bays were not the sleek interceptors other species used. These were warhawks, ugly, brutal attack craft that looked more like flying gun platforms than proper starfighters. Each one was piloted by a human who had volunteered for neural conditioning that enhanced aggression and reduced inhibitions about collateral damage. The battle that followed was nothing like the elegant space combat the galaxy was accustomed to. The human fighters didn't dance through space firing precise shots. They swarmed like angry hornets using suicide tactics and kamikaze runs that no sane species would attempt. When their weapons ran dry, they used their ships as weapons, ramming into the bioships and detonating their reactors. Within 3 hours, the Devourer fleet was reduced to drifting chunks of dead meat. As rescue shuttles began descending to Verdania's surface, Kinza stood in the observation deck, watching the planet slowly begin to heal. The Verdanians were transmitting grateful messages, but she could detect the undertone of fear in their communications. Adam joined her at the viewport, his armor stained with the blood of boarding actions against the surviving Devourers. "They got their saviors," he said. "No," Kinza replied, watching as human medics and engineers began the work of rebuilding a world. "They called for saviors, but Earth sent its monsters. Lucky for them, we're their monsters now." In the depths of space, other predator species monitoring the battle began updating their threat assessments of humanity. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Sometimes civilization's greatest protection comes not from its heroes, but from the monsters it keeps chained in the dark, waiting for the moment when civilized solutions are no longer enough. And humanity had plenty of monsters to spare.